Wow, I'm surprised I've got connection. I'm going into Dorking, as I stayed here last night, as there was a Stand Together, not to be confused with Together, another organisation, Stand Together. They had Richard Volbes speaking, so I thought, as I was only an hour drive from where I was in Kent, and someone sent me the message, I said, okay, I'll come down. So yeah, afternoon Trinity, yeah. So I'm just going to go into town in Dorking. I walked there last night, but I haven't seen it during the day. It's quite beautiful, this area, isn't it? That's one thing good about Surrey. There's like loads of beautiful kind of picturesque hills and stuff. It's always like that, the valleys and the hills and shit like that. Very, I mean, a symbol of the seal of Surrey is it's like a leaf of some sort. So it's very nice. Yeah, I couldn't get connection in that pub, guys. The person, and I wasn't really a bit fussed about it because Kingsley Hamilton was there and he was live streaming on his Facebook group, the ULEZ one. No, whatever it's called, Action Against ULEZ. It's the one that's 80,000 people in it. So it's on that if people want to watch it. So I wasn't too miffed about it, but it was so annoying though because there's two things that went wrong. I used to have a little mini Wi-Fi hub thing that's quite good. That's just stopped working. It's just not the antennae or something. There's something wrong with it. It works, but it's not giving out signal. So that's something I need to replace. Also the pub Wi-Fi, which I could have tapped into, just wasn't working. They said the awake, I'll pass it in a minute, it's called the Bull's Head. If you're ever in Dorking in Surrey, that's an awake place. The landlady's awake. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, but I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I was just purely reliant. So right now, this stream is just reliant upon just my unlimited mobile data. So there's only one thing, so it might go off, guys, because I'm heading into town. It's weird, isn't it? You would think that the raw area would have no internet, but the town would have loads, but better reception, I mean. But no, not in this case, no. So it might, just let you know. So I've also just realised it's Tuesday today, and I've not yet found out a place where to do my show for tomorrow and Thursday. So I've got to sort of work out where to go from today. I think I might go to Red Hill today to meet with a friend, and then I don't know, like go somewhere then. I don't know, I'll find out. I'll see who's about. So yeah, I know. Yeah, poor Sean, his Wi-Fi problems. Yeah, I know. It makes me laugh that all of the people who do have good Wi-Fi connections and all that, where the fuck are they? So, I mean, I literally live day by day, guys. I'm not joking you. I'm very, very frugal. Let's put it like that. Frugal with my money. It's funny that, isn't it? I've just gone from rural country straight into a high street. So I'm just going to do a lap. I say we're going to do a lap, see what's here. So all the people with like good Wi-Fi, they can sit on their arse all day. It's just mad, isn't it? And the guy who actually goes out and is proactive, so, but that's why in a way, guys, I'm welcoming the tough times. I told you before, I'm going all Joker, because I think that's, I think that's the only way to get people up their asses, mate. Instead of people having their nice comfy lives, sitting down watching the screens and whatever. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. If you want this country to change for the better, you've got to do something about it, guys. I mean, if I was to poll people here, do any of you do any of you do yellow boards? Do any of you do give out the light paper? Do you do anything of that nature? You've got to kind of question your life, like what am I doing? What am I doing? Not rely on other people. Oh, we'll rely on Sean to do it. We'll rely on David Curtin to do it. We'll rely on, you know, whoever to do it. Richard Vobes to do it. No, you have to do it, guys. Sorry, but I have a house to put out this month. Okay, so what about all the other months before and after? And all that. What do people actually do? This is my question to people. What do they actually do? It's good to be entertained, right? And I've got no issue being the clown, okay? To entertain people, make them laugh and all that. But what do you guys do? This is my question. This is why I'm welcoming the hard times now. So okay, we tried to be nicey nice. We tried to go, well, you know, try to inspire you guys, encourage you guys, whatever it is. But now we're at this point in time. Nothing's really changed. Everything's really got worse. Look, you see, we've got London and county offices, whatever that means. And there's so we're at London and county offices. Country offices, sorry, so London and country offices, and there's an Israel flag in the thing. See, they got the memo of taking down the Ukraine flag and putting up the Israel one. That's how you know. That's how you know you're on the wrong side. That's how you know they're the baddies. That's just how you know it. Chased them up then, Lisa. Just chased them up. I'm going to be, mate, critical mood today. I'm going to be in critical mood all year, mate. That's going to be me, because like I said, I'm done trying to like wake people up. So I'm just going to go, okay, so let's go through the hard times then. That's what I said. I want more taxes. I'm like, woo, Keir Starmer. You're going to see my show tomorrow. I'm going to be basically just plugging Keir Starmer the whole time. Cheek, but I'm going to be like, yeah, come on, let's get in. Come on, hard times, yes. Yes, more migration, yes. Yes, do it. Harder, Daddy, yes. Look, Dorking Hall. More taxes, yes. What, you've got a small business going under? Yes. Conductor of the Leek Hill Music Festival, resident of Dorking. I don't know that name. I don't know whatever that is. In 1946, they were purchased by the Urban District Council under major plans in 97. So, oh, it's a cinema. Okay, cool. I thought it was, or is it a cinema? Yeah, it is a cinema. I thought it would be maybe it's both. Maybe it's a theatre and a cinema. Yep, on the Sean's 100% tax campaign channel, yes. Do you know what? That's actually a really good idea, Tsunami. That's what I'm gonna do. Yes, I'm gonna do a thing, more taxes. I'm gonna use the arguments that people have been saying for decades that, it's the price you have to pay to live in a civil society. Do you like this civil society? Well, I want more of it. I want more of this civil society. I want more of it. We're going to tax everyone. I'm going to go King John. You're going to need Robin Hood to come back. If he existed. Which I think he did, personally, because they don't want stories like that about, oh no, it's fiction. Everyone loves paying taxes. No. He didn't exist, no. People love paying taxes. It's the price to pay to live in a civil society. How would the NHS function? The essence of the NHS. How would they would never be able to survive. Yep, freedom and security means 100% taxes. Yep, mate. You know what? So we need to talk. We need to start collaborating. Thomas Cubbett. Does anyone know Thomas Cubbett? Master builder. There's something wrong with this camera, hang on. Is that just a sunscreen? I think it's just sunscreen. If I was a lord, I would be at the peasants. I would let the peasants dress me as Master Bates. Yep. Yeah, problem is people need to make local chapters. Yeah, do it. Yeah, just do it. Don't get someone else to do it. You do it. You just come up with it. I say that all the time with people when I used to be in the political party and stuff like that. I used to go, yeah, if only we had, you know, like I'll go to say Essex or whatever, and then they would say, yeah, there was someone from Essex would go, like a member in Essex would go, yeah, we need like a local chapter. And I went, do you know what? That's a really great idea. I've got the perfect person to set that up. And then if there was a mirror nearby, I go, there he is, or there she is. That's the perfect person to set that up. But then a lot of them would go, oh, well, I can't do it, I've got other things I've got to do. Oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? It's just this sort of, these are the people, I don't know, like Richard Volbes yesterday, right? Again, you can watch it on Kingsley Hamilton's Action Against ULEZ, blah, 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 what the fuck it's called, right? Some long-ass title. With 80,000 members in it. It's that one, not the other one. So Richard Volbes was going, yeah, it's just this weird thing where people have become. So there was a guy, I can't remember where it was. There was a guy who left. He left France and he went to America. Like we're talking about 2 centuries ago. And he says, what makes America great at the time? Anyway, it's not great now, right? It's a total socialist dictatorship now, pretty much, right? He said, what makes America great at the time is that people in France, whenever there's a problem, they go, we got to get government to sort it out. But in America, when there's a problem, people deal with it themselves. So if people wanted a library to be made in their town, guess what? They wouldn't go to the government. They would just sort it out themselves. If they needed a hospital, they'd just do it themselves. If they needed anything, they just sort the problem out themselves. That's what made America great, and I totally agree with that. Now, people have fostered this mentality. Whenever something needs to be done, people will always go to the whole thing of, well, if I was Prime Minister, or I'm gonna try, the government should do this, the government should do that. That should be the last thought that people ever come to. You do it yourself, you organise it amongst yourselves. Obviously now, because of the way that people, especially boomers, they have allowed the government to just allow the states to grow so much that now everything is bureaucratic. So even if you wanted to set something up, you have to get the government's permission. It's not that the government need permission of you anymore. Like, you know, people in parliament and stuff, they represent you. So really, we should all have voices. Most people are against the green agenda. Most people are against mass immigration. But yet in parliament, it doesn't try to grow so big. Well, the boomers have, you know, mostly the boomers. That whole generation after the war, they've just totally just butchered this country, right? Murdered it, really, right? That mindset, like I said, because the hard times were over, and after the war, the second war, to pretty much present day, it has realistically been easy times. So you brought up to these spoilt kind of generation where they've never had any real hardship. Like, people might go, "Oh, I've had a hard life." It's like, no, you haven't. Not compared to pre-World War II and all of that. You haven't. I'm sorry, right? I don't care what you've gone through. You've just not had it hard compared to these people. It's hard in measurement to this life, to this generation, but compared to the previous ones, no, right? So it's brought up this pampered lifestyle where it's like, oh, I'll just get government to do it. Just get government to do it. Or there'll be some kind of benefit for it. Oh no, I'll just give me money. It's the free stuff thing, isn't it? I just want free stuff. So that's what's happened. And it's created this. Where did I get that church? Yeah, it is complex. They did get it right. They got it right when they overthrew the king, when in the War of Independence. But then, slowly over the years, like I said, families who brought up children just forgot to pass on that message in a way, and then eventually now you have a welfare state, both in America and here, that is just way beyond what we can afford. And the inflation and stuff, you know what I mean? It's just, we've done it to ourselves, really. It isn't really foreign. People go, "Oh, foreigners." It's not really. It's just us. So getting strange texts, guys. Strange texts from TFL randomly, which I don't quite understand. Let's see where I can go. What's down there? Some sort of park. Imagine living in these. It's like what I was saying the other day. People just born into stuff and they think it's normal. Yeah, it's normal. We've got a massive welfare state. Yeah, it's massive. It's normal that we got the NHS is the third biggest organisation on earth. It's normal. It's normal. It's £6 a pint. It's normal. Income tax, paying for a tax that was to fight Napoleon, even though he's been dead for 200 years. Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, it's normal. It's totally normal. No one questions anything. It's normal. Born into it. My parents paid it. My parents voted. It's normal. It's just normal stuff. But instead, people just go to the scapegoat of, oh yes, foreigners.
No, yeah, it's safe enough to get there.
Because in a way, I think that's the reason why the state has allowed mass immigration, because then they're always the boogeymen. Do you see what I mean? Because people will start going, hang on a minute, why are we paying income tax still? Hang on a minute, why is everything so shit? Because, you know, and then the state goes, oh, well, it's all these foreigners. And it's all these lefty lawyers who are protecting. Bullshit. Bullshit, guys. They all work for the same entity, the state. background checks, etc. unfortunately needed, since we live in a CCP on steroids. Yeah, it's funny, I was watching you're talking about RoboCop CCP, because that's, you watch RoboCop now with fresh eyes, it's like, wow, it's like, yeah, the news stuff and all that, it's very funny, but you really watch it now, the propaganda, everything, you're like, wow, this is so true. But it's very complex as well, because people think that's capitalism. It's not, it's corporatism. Even the writers of RoboCop, again, that's very complex, and it's like, you either get it, you have to be explained. Even I didn't get it for a while. You have to really look at it and understand it, and you're like, oh, now I see it. It's not as easy as the socialist kind of economics. Easy to understand. It's basically what you see is what you get kind of thing. So yeah, Dorking's pretty nice. Pretty nice place. Got some free parking as well where I am. Literally just about 5 minutes walk from the high street. Still amazes me that people can still pay for parking when there's usually probably just a road around the corner that is free. It's just bizarre to me. Again, that's part of that conditioning. So, micromanaging the tax castles lives. Yeah, it's that. So, now guys, let me get if I can, will I be able to get okay. So yeah, it's pretty church, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't know where I'm going next. Yeah, I had to, I was going to get a new tyre, just to have as I've got a slow puncture on one of my tyres. I've got to keep pumping it up every few days. And obviously as it's getting colder, that's going to get worse. But yeah, the tyre place, I got one yesterday. So basically what happened was 2 days ago, as I was driving down the M26, my tyre blew out, so I had to quickly park up. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you know it gets dark at 4 now, so I thought, fuck it, I've got to change this tyre ASAP. So I had a spare in the back, and I've just quickly I changed it in about half an hour, and I've got back on the road again. And yesterday I called up this place because my tyres, the size of them, they're quite rare tyres now. So called around. There was one place in Red Hill that wanted 45 quid for a tyre, and now it's because I've gotten two, it's part worn, I've gotten 2 tyres for 50 quid, right? And when someone says, yeah, one tyre for 45 and he won't haggle with me, and I'm like, nah, sorry mate, I'll just shop around till I get better. And I found one, and it was 30 quid, but he only had one. So I've got like, so in all I've got 5 tyres now, but one of them is still a slow puncture. So it'd be nice if I can get another one for roughly the same price. That's what it's just like, you know, it's like when like George R.R. Martin can make an entire world of Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean? It's just one guy making lore. Tolkien, lore of Middle Earth, all of that. It's just lore, isn't it? It's not history, it's just lore. Lore. Oh, I thought there was more to that. I notice around these areas, so Crawley, I believe it's Crawley, yeah, it is Crawley. Crawley has like a giant cock statue. Like a giant cockerel statue. Wow, look at that. Going to explore the new world on the Mayflower. New world to us, but there's already people there. Living in the new world. You know, I gotta get that. What's his name? Oliver. What's his name? Oliver. The guy who did that song a few months back, and it went world viral. We got politicians more concerned about minors, was it? Yeah, just saying, like, what's that? Why they got around this area? They got sort of an obsession with the giant cocks. As in cockerels. It's like Crawley has a statue of a giant blue cock. Like, what's the thing of the cockerel? Did they used to have cockfights or something? You know what it's like? It's funny. I bet no one in Crawley has ever actually asked that question. Yeah, what's the thing about the blue cockerel? Like, like people are so sleepy. Like, they're so docile. They don't ask questions. It's like that time when I was in Catford, and I asked. It's like I asked, like, there used to be a famous dog stadium in Catford, and I was like, why did they put a dog stadium in a town that has a giant cat? Like, it's got a giant cat statue. What's that all about? And they just never thought about it. They lived there all their lives, and it's just never dawned on them that you know what I mean? It's like people are so docile. Wow, what a bargain. From 3,450 to 1,900. Wow. What a bargain. I mean, you can just buy a car for that, but, you know, whatever. Wow, 7,800 quid. Reduced to £2,000 off. Wow. That's a bargain, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a push bike, but, you know, whatever. Who would seriously think that's a good business model in this time of age, with all the cost of living stuff and all that? But yeah, we're gonna start selling bikes for £8,000. You can literally buy a new car for that price. Like, honest to God, guys, at the end of the day, it's a fucking push bike. Like, I used to buy, like, the cheapest bike for, like, about 100 quid from, like, fucking Halfords. And that would do me for years. I mean, it just does the same shit, doesn't it? Green King pub here, the Star. Green King is the one up from Wetherspoons in terms of pricing. Look, they got the fucking cock again. What's the obsession with the cock? I'm not joking, in Crawley, which is relatively nearby, it's like about 20 miles, no, not even that, 10 miles? 10 miles? They got a statue of this thing. Someone find out why they're obsessed with cock. Yeah, people think coffee is £3. Yeah, it's normal. It's like, I think I need to start doing like some kind of skit on this, some kind of like some sort of gag on this. Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, just do this. Yeah, normal. It's normal. £3, normal. I mean, it costs about 10p to make, but you know, yeah, £3, normal. I mean, for a lot of them, I mean, you go into like an all-independent cafe like that, what's that, Monica's Deli, right? The reason why it's so pricey is because of the taxation. See, again, it always goes back to taxation. Always. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, it is started off because of a tax revolt. Because the people at the time went, no, we're not paying, no, that's bullshit, we're not paying that. But that's why. And then the reason why like McDonald's is so cheap compared to that, because they tax avoid. They don't tax evade, they tax avoid. So their HQ is probably located in the Cayman Islands or Guernsey or Jersey or Republic of Ireland, something like that. They'll have some, or states in America that's again very low taxes to tax evade. The average person on the street who own little businesses like these, they can't afford to pay those solicitors tax avoid. That whole post office scam as well, that is, I tell you what, there's more to that, guys. Oh my god, yesterday, so I was in a hotel yesterday, right, in travel logs only, and I was just flicking through the channel. I don't watch TV, I don't know any of the channels or whatever, I'm just flicking through it just to see the bullshit. And I don't know, does this work? Nope. I'm here by an old pump. I'm here by an old pump right in Dorking, and I was hoping that no, don't work, guys. Basically sums up this society, doesn't it now? So this is the pub here we were at last night. It is if you're ever in Surrey, guys, if you're ever in Surrey, Dorking in Surrey, the Bull's Head, that's the Awake pub, right? The landlord's Awake. It's on the high street as well. It's pretty cool. It's like an L-shaped pub. It's not big. Basically, what you see is sort of the size of it. It's what you get. It just wraps around to the end there, and that's it. But I've said to Dad, I said to them, do you have music and stuff? And they said, yeah. I said to Dad, yeah, you got to play at that pub because it's a Wake pub. You could also, this would be an excellent place to do yellow boards, guys. It's right at a busy junction, so technically, if you really want to do some a bit of both, see a bit of entertainment and do a little bit of activism, whatever you want to call it, waking people up. You could do both. Someone could arrange a yellow boards in Surrey. They do it in Surrey. They do it in Carl Shorten. They do it in Crawley and all that. They're quite regular as well. And they're not as. I don't think they're as sort of military, almost military-like efficiency, like with Kent. But Surrey are quite good, to be fair to them. But this would be good. I would say maybe not do it too close to the pub, but do it sort of maybe like around the high street. And then it would say if the Daz band were playing then in the evening, or any sort of event, like Richard Vobes last night, whatever, speaking. And look, here it is again. Look, obsessed with cop, guys. We got here, look, got the memorial. A lot of people, a lot of names on that. Remember guys, all wars are bankers' wars. Once you understand that properly, you would never send your child to military. As soon as we put boards out in my town, Thurrock Council removed them. Put them back up then. What, you're going to let the council defeat you? Put them back up. Keep doing it. Why is it a defeatist attitude, Lisa? What's all the, oh I did it, but oh this happened. Oh I did it, but I can't do it because of this thing. Oh yeah. It's just, we don't listen to the council, Lisa. We're beyond that. They work for us, remember? They're subservient to us. We don't listen to them. We don't vote. Most of us don't vote. Whatever they do is outside our... We don't live in that 3D world anymore. We've gone beyond that. The council can do whatever they want. We will still do as we do. Even if they made a bylaw, it doesn't matter. We won't listen to it. We have to stop getting out of this kind of slave-like mentality where, oh, well, the council did that, so I don't care what the council does, mate. Ferguson tractors now still running. Yeah, so if you're in, that's where to go, guys. If it's not open on, well, it is technically it isn't open on Monday. A lot of pubs now, some businesses, but especially pubs, a lot of them are open on Mondays because Monday's seen as a dead day. Do you know what I mean? A lot of pubs now, they don't even open on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because that's just the way it is now. People can't, like what Tsunami's been saying and myself, it's like the prices of alcohol because of the taxation and all that, the beer tax, all that. You're not getting people pop out of work and have a quick one, a swift one. That doesn't exist anymore that much. So that I know that closes on Monday. But what they'll have is, they'll have private events then, like the Richard Vobes thing from yesterday. So that's really good, you know what I mean? That's really proactive stuff. They're like, okay, we're not open on Mondays. However, we'll let you guys do what you need to do on a you know, to promote something. So that's pretty cool. It's hard with people with disabilities. Well, what do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean by that? Because I know a lot of people with disabilities, some of them literally physically in wheelchairs, and they still do stuff. There's a guy, for example, called, you can check him on Facebook, he's called Peter. He's a mixed race guy. You've probably seen me, I've live streamed him before, perhaps. Like, he's mostly at ULEZ stuff. He's in a wheelchair. He gets out and starts. There's a guy, I don't want to mention him, but he's a well-known, he comments on my videos a lot. He's never mentioned that he is the way he is, so I don't want to He might not, you know, want that, but he is literally disabled from the neck down. He's like Christopher Reeves, like, right? He lives in another county, and he will literally get a bus to London to go on the marches. And the guy has no movement from the neck down. Because funny enough, speaking of bicycles, the bikes we passed, he was like a it's quite sad really. But he's almost like an inspiration as well, because of the stuff that he does. He looks more healthier than me, and the guy's in his 60s, and he looks like only about mid 40. Do you know what I mean? And the guy, and he's in great shape as well for a guy. He does like exercises that, you know, for that, and he does what he needs to do. But he used to be an extreme sports guy, you know. He used to be a mountain biker, so literally go up on, not, when I say a mountain biker, I don't mean people just going along the road there with mountain bikes. I mean, he used to use them for the actual function for what they used to be for. He used to go on mountains, and unfortunately he fell off, and he fell backwards, and he fell onto a jagged rock, and it pierced his, I don't know what the exact thing is, but it pierced like his spinal cord. So when people say disabilities, well, what about that guy then? What do you mean by that? Why is it that Peter, the ULEZ guy, who's constantly in a wheelchair, can do all this stuff? I don't get it. What's the? Tell me the mentality there. How long was Folks talking to? I think about 45 minutes he was talking to them, roughly. Part of it was there's a thing called it's called Stand Together Committee, not to be confused with Together. And the only thing I don't like about it, I'll give a critical review of it. It began with a meeting, and they have like, it reminded me when I used to be on the executive committee, or coordinating committee, but a lot of parties call them executive committees. And it's a lot of all this kind of, oh, here's the treasurer, here's the secretary, here's the chairman, here's the note taker. We have, you know, there's minutes being recorded. Basically everything that's said is written down. And I've told John this before, who is like one of the main guys to it. I said, John, we shouldn't be, in my opinion, this isn't the way to go, because this is basically what councils do and what bureaucrats do. We don't live in that world, mate. We don't do bureaucratic sort of petty administrative kind of duties, you know, because you have to understand a lot of that, especially if you speak to ex-councillors and stuff like David Clues, etc., is that a lot of it is just there to pad out. If you go to a council meeting and whatever, a lot of it is just to pad out time, and a lot of it is also to justify, in my opinion, non-jobs. So there's a lot of useless jobs there. You can trim the fat off and save taxpayers' money, but they won't, because obviously they want you guys to have as little money as possible, so you're always reliant on the government. So they're mimicking that model, and I said that's not the way to go, mate. And he's just like, yeah, but what about if there's something important said? Well, then you write it down. You don't need to literally write down everything, do you? That's what they do. They take minutes. It's an inefficient way to go. That's why most private companies, they don't really have that shit. So it's just inefficiency. Obviously, I know what's happened. They thinking, oh look, this is how government runs the country. They have all of these non-job people, and then we've got to copy that model. That's what basically has happened. And I was just like, no, we don't stop following what they're doing. We do our own thing. That's 3D world sort of mentality. So there was that at the start. I wasn't too interested in that. And then there was a break, and then socialising, networking, which is good. Networking is always key. And then there was continuation of the meeting, which is a bit more better. A bit more livelier, but again, it's the same kind of. We'll see if these. There's a lot of people throwing up ideas. We'll see if these ideas come into fruition. And then there was another break, and then Richard Volb spoke, and then that was it. And then people could either stay in the pub or not. But yeah, I got to say, a lot of the stuff Richard Volb said, I did agree with. The only thing I would say is that he kept using a term which I thought was not. I was quite suspicious of it, if I'm honest. He used the term unwashed. Now I know he got like scum media, you know, Nick Cotton. He's got one of his accolades is he's got a thing called unwashed. That's what, but he's using that ironically, because the term unwashed is what the establishment or elitist people use to describe the mass public, the great unwashed. So what we would call them. We wouldn't call them unwashed, we would just call them, oh, they're the sleepy joes, they're the normies, they're the sheeple, right? The sheep. They called them the unwashed, and he kept saying the unwashed, and that was just like, that's a term that usually establishment people say to describe them. But it could be just he isn't aware of that, I don't know. But everything else he said, I was totally in favour of, in the sense of, you know, this parliamentary system that we have, the voting, all of that, it's archaic, it's old hat, it's old fashioned, it doesn't work, it's not moved on with the times. So but then he had Kingsley Hamilton there, very me, look at me, and he had to speak after Richard Volbs did, and he said, can I speak please, can I speak? And he gave basically a political party broadcast of himself, basically. Obviously he was standing as an independent, but it was just like a political broadcasting message going, oh, and you should vote, that's where we differ, you should vote, and you know, you should vote for me next time I stand, and all this, and I've taken down so many cameras and blah blah blah, all this. Well, they try to do me for cameras, so, and I just sort of looked at someone and I went, I'll stick with the Richard Volbs method, mate, yeah. Because I think Kingsley's a bit too keen, a bit too desperate to be in that House of Commons, and it's all just a bit of a game. Do you know what I mean? It's not. Because let's be honest, guys. Even if Kingsley Hamilton did get into Parliament, did get into the House of Commons, so what? What will change? What can he do? This whole system is based on a party system, which means that the party with the most MPs in the Commons, the leader of that party becomes the Prime Minister. We don't have a president. You can't elect a Prime Minister. You can't. It's not like a presidential system. So he would never become Prime Minister, for example. So it's basically, all you're doing is you'll stand up in the Commons, you'll say, I disagree with this thing because of these reasons, and that's it. That'll be it. I mean, there's nothing that he can do. He is technically a lawmaker, but he is just one man. But it's just not going to happen, guys. I just don't think. I mean, if like what what's his name, Mark Twain said famously, said if votes never did anything, they wouldn't let you have it. And really, let's just say we had an independent candidate in every single constituency, all 650 of them. They just rig the vote. That's it. You know, it's just rigged, not in your favour. You will never win. So there's the pub as well, the Bull's Head. So that's a pretty cool place. It's just a little L-shaped kind of pub, but yeah, it's nice to have one on a high street. So I don't know. So I'm a little bit. I don't know about Volbs. It's just that kind of. It's kind of funny how it's kind of like always an actor, isn't it? Like Lawrence Fox, for example. It's always actors, isn't it? It's weird that. Irate pirate based fellows, Surrey. Okay, cool. Whereabouts you live in Surrey? So it's quite funny. Look, go straight off the high street and there's cows. There's cows in this field. That's a house as well. See where we just went? This is the Sainsbury's car park. And this house, the arch, so someone actually lives in that house and they have to go under that arch. Let's hope that's not a bedroom, eh? Never get any sleep. So back there, I don't know if people can see, this is all the Sainsbury's car park around here. So Sainsbury's there, don't you see behind those twigs, branches. But yeah, someone then lives, they have to go to that arch all the time. It's got the City of London seal, I think. Or is that City of London? Actually, maybe it might not be, actually. I know it's St George's flag, but the City of London uses it as well. I think they have some dragons around it as well, the City of London. But yeah, someone has to go under that. Someone go under that arch. It's a house attack. So it must be some sort of bridge house, like some sort of defensive mechanism of some sort. And this would be the outskirts of the town then. North Surrey, won't get too much more specific. Okay, cool. I can't think of a North Surrey place, but where am I then? I'm in Dorking, so would that be considered South Surrey? What's that? Southeast Surrey? What would that be considered, pirate? Oh wait, it's not cows, it's sheep, sorry. They've just got the unusual cotton pattern. They look like a cow from the distance. So yeah, they're not too sheepish, these ones, these sheep. So hey, why do you look like a cow? Why you got the cow patterns for? What's going on? How much followed last night? Your screen froze while I was watching it. What, from last night? What do you mean earlier? Yeah, I couldn't get reception. It's my little mini Wi-Fi hub thing is malfunctioning, so I've got to get a new one. Another bloody cost. Also, the pub, their Wi-Fi was down as well, so I had to only use my mobile one, which was clearly not adequate enough. But if you want to see it from last night, guys, go onto the ULEZ, Kingsley Hamilton's ULEZ Facebook group, which is called Action Against ULEZ, and it's got some, ULEZ LTNs. There's two of them, but it's the bigger one. It's one of 80,000 members. 20 miles an hour LTNs, whatever. I don't think so the thing with Kingsley is he's not fully awake, or maybe if he is, behave like a politician. He's very crafty in what he says publicly, which is always a bit of a worrying thing. So he's playing politics basically. I don't think he mentions anything about 15-minute neighbourhoods, and because that's so ULEZ, LTNs, 20 miles an hour, they're the things within the Overton window that you're allowed to talk about. 15-minute neighbourhoods and smart cities are in what he perhaps would consider is in conspiracy land still. The Overton window has not yet shifted to that level of talkability and acceptance. So he will play politics and just not mention it because that sounds like wacky conspiracy theory. So he's very careful, and he does censor on his Facebook group as well. certain topics, so it won't be there. So I understand, like, obviously if you were to put a big pharma post on a ULEZ group, I can understand why that would be removed, but I think anymore to his group, it gets automatically deleted. I can send it to the other group, the one with Nick Arlett. He's very awake.